In previous videos, I have provided 5 foundational component skills necessary to teach prior to mastering and really being able to be successful with some of our higher level executive functioning skills. And these foundational component skills are attending, inhibiting, remembering, flexibility, and emotional regulation. Once these 5 foundational skills are mastered, we're really ready to move on to some of these higher level executive functioning skills. I think executive functioning skills are often overlooked, often slip through the cracks, and are just so important, right? For those critical thinking skills, problem solving skills, and independence and generalization of mastery of all skills that we're really working on teaching. So the first higher level executive functioning skill that I want to talk about today is time management. And so we are going to teach this in very specific steps, measurable, observable skills. We're going in and teaching this, breaking this skill of time management down to measurable, observable steps that we can collect data on, that I can teach it bit by bit by bit, breaking the skill down into doable bits for our students and loved ones to be able to be successful, and to make sure that I am making sure that each step is mastered before moving on to the next. So that way, when I finish all of these steps, right, this big skill of time management is going to be able to be mastered and generalized, and they're going to be independent and successful. So step 1 is identify the amount of time available. So right, I'm going to deliver a task, an activity, something, and they're just going to tell me, well, how much time do they even have available, right? To be able to manage our time, I have to know how much time I have available in my schedule. I have to participate in my schedule. I have to be able to tell time. I have to be able to identify how much time I have available. Next is going to be, I need to prioritize the tasks in my daily schedule, right? So if I'm planning on going and getting a pedicure, I probably need to clean the house, maybe get my workout in first before I make time for my pedicure, right? So being able to identify how much time I have available, and then be able to prioritize the task to be completed from most important to least important. And so maybe it's just setting aside those preferred tasks for later after we complete our less preferred tasks first. And maybe it's just being able to put, if it's a big group project, maybe it's just being able to put the steps necessary to complete this activity in order. So I'm not just prioritizing, but I can place the things that I need to do in sequential order. The third one is going to be estimate the total time of this activity. So how long is it going to take me to go get a pedicure? How long does it usually take me to work out? How long is it going to take me to write this essay for my social studies class? Whatever the activity is that we assign to our children and loved ones to be able to go through these steps to master the skill of time management, we need them to be able to accurately estimate about how much time do you think that will take. And then determine if there's enough time to complete this task. So being able to look at their global daily schedule, what's next? Well, we need to transition to science class in X amount of time. Do you have enough time? Well, I need to be able to pick my daughter up, do these things, X, Y, Z. Do I have enough time to do these things? The next one is use time effectively to complete the task, right? So being able to stay on task and be productive during that time, working through those steps in sequential order, prioritizing those tasks, and then following through with that prioritized sequential order that I've provided to be able to stay on task and complete the activity that I need to in a timely manner. The next one is going to be trial and error alternatives, right? So if I didn't give enough time, or I ran out of time, or something took me longer than expected, I need to be able to have a plan B, plan C. That's a part of that flexibility, part of using those foundational skills and this broken down task analysis of time management of I need to be able to have a plan B. And then the next step is going to be being able to check in for corrective feedback, right? So if it is, I need to go and check in with mom. Hey, can you come and check my room? I cleaned it. Did I clean it appropriately? I need to check in with my teacher. Hey, I think I did my essay appropriately. I had a couple of last questions. Was this correct? Being able to check in for feedback, always going back, reviewing your work, checking in for feedback. We're going to increase the amount of accuracy and independence and independent initiations to ask questions just by purely teaching this skill and this step to mastery. These steps that I just went through, this task analysis of our global skill of time management, right? I need my individual and children and loved ones to memorize these steps. If time management is a skill deficit, then I need to break it down to these steps, teach each individual step to mastery. But then you know what? these steps are going to have to be memorized for them to be independent and generalize these skills across people, across situations, across environments, all of these things. Then I need them to memorize them. And then when I go in to teach these things, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to backward chain it. So that means I'm going to start at that very last skill. So they need to memorize it first. And they're just going to memorize the steps just by saying them out loud, right? I'm not going to teach them necessarily. I just need them to memorize the steps in order from backwards on, frontwards down. I need the steps to be memorized. And then I'm going to teach them how to check in for feedback, right? So I'm going to give them an activity. I'm going to prompt them through all of the first steps until we get to checking in for feedback. That's the skill that they need to complete independently. And then they are going to provide themselves some feedback of, did I go through all of the steps? Did I correct them? Did I ask for feedback? Yes. And then I've got these steps memorized and I can verify that in fact I did complete all of the steps. So hopefully this broken down task analysis that I've completed of time management is helpful to some to be able to teach our children and loved ones how to be successful. But don't forget the most important part. Teach and program for generalization. I want our children and loved ones to be able to have time management, not just of academic tasks, but of leisure skills, daily living skills, all of the things in life, planning their social events, right? All of the things in life, I want to have generalization of this skill across all activities, all environments. So good luck teaching time management. It's such an important skill in all things of life, across academic institutions, across guiding and being a part of a household and having roommates, as well as employment.